So I'm sure that most of you are probably sitting here right now going, oh, sweet Jesus, another adult talking to me about social media. Yeah, I know, I get it. I get it. The whole thing that I'm going to be doing here, though, is I'm not going to be telling you that you're doing bad stuff on social media, because I know some of you are. And I'm not going to be telling you what you should and should not be doing because it's just bad. I'm actually going to tell you why. It's important that you look after your social footprint. Social footprint. But really quickly, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on me, just so you don't think I'm some mouthpiece standing up here talking out my ears. I'm a veteran. Spent 15 years in the Canadian Army, 2 tours of duty overseas. When I got out, I got into the IT world. I got 20 years worth of IT experience behind me. I've been working with and using social media since 2005. So basically, when most of you were entering elementary school going, whee, this is fun, I was doing this. All right? So I know of what I speak, but I am a social media coach. Not a consultant, not a guru, not a ninja, not a Jedi. I'm a social media coach. So I end up learning as much as I teach. So I'm expecting that in a lot of my classes that I teach, I'm expecting to actually hear stuff from the students that are actually taking the classes. So it's important that I get feedback from you. So if you have a question or if you think I'm saying something wrong, tell me. I got big shoulders. I've been shot at. It's easy. All right. Your social footprint. Who can tell me what a social footprint is?
What you leave behind on the internet?
Yeah, kind of. Your social footprint is you online. Right? Now, in high school, reputation is important. Yeah? Don't shake your head and tell me that it ain't, because I know that there's a lot of people who think they're above it. Social media reputation is even more important because your reputation here is here. Your reputation there is everywhere. Oh yes, some boring stats, because everybody loves boring stats. In 2013, 77% of businesses use social media in their recruiting. Now what that means is that businesses are now, and that's 2013, so the numbers are up, businesses are now going out to social media to look for the people that they need for their business. So they're going online to find the talent that they need, whether it be at universities, whether it be at technical colleges, whether it just happen to be in a specific field or interest. That's where they're looking these days. In 2014, 93% of hiring managers were reviewing candidates' social profiles. That means they've got your resume, they've got your information, and now they're going online and looking at your social footprint. Why do you think they're doing that?
To see what you look like, see what you really are without.
Oh, trust me, if that was the case, nobody'd hire me. I have a face for radio. Right? No, they're going online to see what your conversation is, what you talk about, what your interests are. They're going out there to look about you before they bring you in for an interview. If you look like a complete moron online, you're not even going to get to the interview process. Because if they think that's how you talk in public, they're not going to bring you in. Scary, isn't it? Now you're all starting to think, what did I put on Facebook last week? And some of you are going, what the hell's Facebook? 55% reconsider hiring based on those reviews. And there it is. Almost over half of the hiring professionals out there will take a look at a social profile of a person that they're interested in, see what they see, and go, yeah, maybe not. Your social profile, your social footprint, now plays a part in your being able to get employed. And quietly, a whole bunch of you are sitting there going, oh, crap. This is an application that I use. It's called EchoSec. It's based out of Victoria, and it allows me to look at a map, circle a section on that map, and see all the social media conversations that are happening for months. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I show businesses how to use this to find the social conversations. So when they're doing their market research, I'm going to set up a coffee shop in this town, but I don't know where. And they can see the social conversations and look for the posts that say, this is a crappy coffee shop, or I wish there was a coffee shop here. But I also show people that this tool can be used for the hiring research. Because it allows you to target right down to very specific spots, like Timberline. And right away, I can see all the social conversations that are happening out of this place. Okay? So I can find the Instagram accounts. I can find the Facebook conversations. I can find the tweets. And I can read all of it. And I can follow and connect and reconnect. And I can find out who your friends are. I can find out where you live, what your dog is, what you had for breakfast yesterday. Creepy. But also extremely helpful in getting people to understand that what you post online can be seen by everybody. Everybody. Like this lady. Young, intelligent, driven, world experience. She put herself out there as a candidate in the recent election as a member of the Liberal Party. She had it all in front of her. She's going to university. She won't even have been graduated by the time she had a chance to sit in government. And if she was still a candidate, she would be sitting in the government today at 21. She had it all in front of her. Come on. Yeah. Next question. There it is. Okay, so there she is with Trudeau, right up until the time the other side saw a tweet from when she was in high school. Wow. And you know what? That's the nice one. The other ones, not so nice. And in the matter of a week, the history that she could have made went right out the window. She was no longer a Liberal Party candidate. She lost her position at the University of Calgary, where she was going to school as a volunteer working with youth, and she lost her position at the City of Calgary as a youth volunteer worker as well. All she's got going for her now is a graduation in 2016. That's it. She has to start over because of a tweet that she did 4 years ago. The chances are now she doesn't think like this. And when she did this tweet, she was in high school in Kuala Lumpur, where it's relatively okay to do things like this. She's not in Kuala Lumpur anymore. She's in Canada. That doesn't wash with the Canadian people. So her future employment, her future career track has been thrown completely off by what she posted online. And her employer, future employer, saw that. So did the other political parties. So here are the things that employers don't like. References or images around drug use. I'm not saying that you guys do drugs. But I'm sure you have seen the posts of somebody that you know sitting at a party in the woods, having a grand old time, taking a long honk on a bong. Not really good for the future employment when you are going to the University of Victoria Law School. References or images around alcohol use. Okay, well, alcohol is the acceptable drug. But the picture of you at the grad party having a good pull on a nice Mickey of whatever, yeah, you'd be 17, which would put you just a little underage. Not so good if you're planning on working for the government. or applying for the RCMP or the military. Apparently my connection is lost. All right, well, technology doesn't want to play it, that's fine. References of images of a sexual nature. No, you guys don't do anything like that now, do you? Remember that we are in a society today that doesn't really tolerate things like misogyny, things like disrespecting gender, disrespecting any type of sexual choice or orientation. It's unacceptable. So talking about it, not such a great idea. Use of profanity or inappropriate language. Well, we just saw with that university student what the use of inappropriate language will do to you. Remembering that, and I'm sure you've heard it 1,001 times from 1,001 different directions, what you post online never goes away. Who here has a Snapchat account? Who here got into Snapchat because they thought, hey, you know what? It's gone in 24 hours. Wrong. But thank you for coming out. Here's a parting gift. Snapchat does not go away in 24 hours. Not when somebody else takes a screenshot of it and then proceeds to share it across the network. It doesn't disappear from the Snapchat servers, that's for darn sure. So it's still going to be accessible somewhere by someone for some reason. The internet never forgets. It's the elephant in the room. Well, you never heard that one before, did you? So here's the thing they do like. They like volunteering. Employers love people who volunteer. Why do you think that is? What?
You work free.
You work for free. You know what? As an entrepreneur, I truly appreciate that. No, it's not that you work for free.
So you drive. You drive.
You have drive. You like to help. That's the key right there. You are thinking of somebody else other than yourself. Which is difficult for teenagers a lot of the times, I know. I was one. Long time ago. Don't. Yeah, you just thought about one, didn't you? Okay, volunteerism is great. It's absolutely fantastic on a resume. Simply because they will get to see a side of you that says, I'm thinking about others and I'm willing to work extra to make things happen. That's a positive. Extracurricular activities, sports, cadets, organizations that you work for in, plays, theaters, all those extracurricular activities that you do, play well into it because, again, it means that you have interests outside of just work. And today's employee, the one that works all the time, isn't necessarily the best employee. The one that understands a work-life balance is a great employee. Proper grammar and spelling. Folks, let me tell you this right now. You do not spell you are. Your texting language, which permeates all of your lives these days, because it's quick and it's simple and it's easy, does not go well for your future working as a copywriter. Okay? Employers look at how you write as much as what you write. If you come across on social media as a completely illiterate moron, there is a pretty good chance that they're not going to be interested in even looking at your resume, let alone following up on it. Taking the time to try and, when the little lines show up, the red ones or the green ones or the blue ones that say you've done something wrong, use those. They work. They really do. Granted, it's American and they want to take out the you in neighborhood and stuff like that, but that's fine. You can sort that out. But having that good grammar and that good spelling helps ensure that the words that you are trying to make your message get across with are actually understandable. Positive outlook on previous employment. Who here has had a job that they've left because they didn't like the previous employer? Be honest. Canadian Army. Left the Canadian Army, yeah, bye-bye. But do you say that online? Do you say, Company X is full of a bunch of morons? Don't go work for them. Don't go there at all. Yes, the urge to do that is there. To show your disdain for the employer while you're still working for them and posting that online, maybe not such a great idea. Okay. Guess what happened to this guy who decided it would be funny to lick the tacos at Taco Bell? He got fired. What do you think his employment opportunities in the fast food industry are going to be after this? Pretty slim. How about the manager who decided to take a nap on the Burger King buns? This is real. This is real stuff. This is taken out of actual events. This isn't made up. Or the girl at KFC who decided, let's lick the potatoes. And posted it on Facebook. Not thinking about the fact that your profile is being looked at by more than just the people you're connected with. It's being looked at by the people they're connected with and the people that those people are connected with. And if you have who here has their security on their Facebook, Instagram accounts, and all that in place? Suckers. Doesn't exist. I can find a loophole in every single one of them. And it's not hard. Because you shared that picture with that friend who shared it with somebody else, and now it's no longer closed. Thinking about what you're posting. Because at the time it may sound like fun, and your buddies might go, dude, that's hilarious. But the future employer's looking at it going, say what? Real life. And as you get out of school, and as you hit this real world, and we're all graduating, right? We're all going to be going there on June 26th going, woo! I'm out. It's done. I'm finished. And then June 27th rolls around and you're going, now what? Right? My greatest problem when I got out of the Army, what do I wear to work on Monday morning? I spent 15 years putting on the same thing. And now I actually have to look in the closet and choose? That's what your life is about to become. And you're going to be in competition with a whole bunch of other people looking for the same job that you're looking at. So ensuring that the online reputation that you have, the online footprint that you've created over the past few years, is nice and clean and proper and thought about, because that's where the employers are looking. That's where the interview starts. You put your resume in, they're already looking. Now, this is to say that I understand that you want to share those goofy moments in your life. That's me. 27 years ago. 20 years old, first tour of duty overseas, and I thought I was Rambo. And you can pretty much guess what the blurred out pictures on the wall are. Okay? Now, if I had social media back in 1988, I probably would have posted this online as well. Because that's what you do. There's no thought process to what happens beyond this date. And I wasn't thinking past beyond this date. no idea what was going to happen the next day. Actually, what happened the next day pretty much screwed me up for the rest of my life. Right? But if I was an employer looking for somebody who is calm, cool, and collected, that's not the guy. So what we're going to talk about here is LinkedIn. Who here is familiar with LinkedIn? You are? You got an account?
No, my dad uses
Your dad does? Excellent. LinkedIn is basically Facebook without the cats. All right? It's Facebook for the professionals. This is where people within industries, the workforce, put their professional profiles up for other professionals and other businesses and ownerships and entrepreneurs and companies and corporations to see. This is where you do your bragging about what you are capable of doing. And it's really simple to do. Right? All you need to do is a username and a password, and you're in. Facebook has got the age limit at 13. LinkedIn now has the age limit at 13. 13 years old, you can start a LinkedIn account. Now that seems, why would I want to be setting up a professional profile online when I'm 13? Because it gives you 5 years to build, learn, and understand how that works. So that when you get out of school and you're looking for that job or you're applying for that university, you already have something that the other person is only just starting to get. You have 5 years in the hole before they're even digging it. That's important. And there is so much more that you can put to this. What's the one thing you've been taught about resumes? Keep them short, yeah? 1-2 pages, keep them simple. And it's really hard to get a decent amount of information. If you're busy and you're an active person, you've got a long work history, it's hard to keep that to 1 or 2 pages. You don't have to here. It's digital. You don't have to print it out. You don't have to mail it. You don't have to do anything. It's there. So you have the ability to add more content, more information, more that shows what you are capable of doing. If you're applying to a music school, okay, or an art school, you can actually post links to your work up here so that the school can look at it and go, oh, well, here's the video of them playing the music that they like, or here's the digital portfolio on DeviantArt that they've created. I can see all this stuff now. I can see the talent that's behind the resume. You can't do that with a paper resume. You can add the details about what you do and how you do it. You can write. What is the one thing that drives you nuts about doing a resume? Me? Formatting. Hated it. Because the moment you add something else, the formatting gets thrown all off. Now you don't have to do that. You fill in the blanks. But again, you can add different content. I've got news interviews that I've done. Who here heard about Dear BC? Nah. Who here heard about Dear BC Ferries last year? Right? That 100-word rant that went right off the rails, and BC Ferries was, oh, it was honest, no. That's me. Right? Totally viral. No idea it was going to happen. Learned a ton of stuff from it. But the interview with Global News, I can put up on the resume to show people that that was me. The connections that you make, you are going to learn that out there is a really big version of in here. And what I mean by that is it's about connections. It's about who you know, who your friends are, who you've worked with. People that you know you. And you have now the opportunity to get in now, start building up the connections with the people that you know in school, the people that you already know out in the workforce, the people that you know that you work with in various organizations and volunteerism or whatever. You can start making those connections because those connections can lead to opportunities. And that's what is really important about a place like LinkedIn, is it leads to opportunities. We'll get into that in a second. But knowing and having these connections is powerful, because not only is it about the connections you have, but it's the connections of the people that you're connected to. Okay? I know Sasha Angus here. He's the one on the top here. Right? He's former CEO of Nanaimo Development Corporation. He's since moved on to become the CEO of one of the largest online security firms in the world. They work for Google and Facebook. Now, I'm not going to go to Sasha and say, hey, Sasha, have you got a job? That's pointless. It's not what I'm looking for. But there's a very good chance, given the fact that he's connected with Google and Facebook, that he has a connection to somebody that does have something I'm interested in. I had an opportunity to apply for a job with Disney. They were looking for a social media person to look after the Star Wars franchise. I don't know anybody in San Francisco, but I know people who know people. Within a day, I had a connection with a producer of the Star Wars Commander app. Got to know him, started conversations, and he put my name into HR as a personal recommendation. Bonus. Didn't get the job, but I made a great new connection. That's where you can take this sort of thing. It's not going to happen right away. It's taken me several years. You can also search for the jobs here. Right? Who here still looks for a job in the newspaper? Be honest. Okay, let me rephrase that. Who here is actually looking for a job? Where are you looking? Okay, but where are you looking if you're looking for a job? Where would you look? Work BC. Okay, so online. Who's somebody else?
There's needs.
Sorry?
There's needs like North
Right.
Island.
North Island Employment Foundation. That's a great one. Online. Right? That's where the professionals are looking now, is on LinkedIn. So when you're looking, if you're going to university, who here is going to university in the new year? Wow, the enthusiasm is completely underwhelming. It's like, whatever happened to the days of, I'm going to university! Ah! No, I'm going to the biggest party in the world! Woo! Right? If you're going to university and there's a chance to find an internship, the internship is going to be put here. That's where you're going to find it. And you can find that internship with that company you want to work with. That's an opportunity. It's an opportunity that you find by looking in the right space, while everybody else is looking in the wrong space. So you can pull up very specific jobs that are available in your field. Right? I like social media, so if I'm looking for a job in LinkedIn, I type in social media, and all the jobs that have social media attached to them show up across the country, across the United States, into Europe, global. You're young. You're ready to go and explore the world. You don't have to stay here to get work. You can go anywhere. But the job anywhere is not going to be on the NIAF site or the Work BC site or in the newspaper. But it is going to be here in this space. And when you apply for the job, you can actually see all the information. You can learn about the company. It's all there. I'm a professional social media coach. And there's a job for a social media coach with the largest social media dashboard in the world. Awesome. And I can apply for it right there. Here's the thing. Businesses now, corporations and companies these days are actually using LinkedIn to fill in the resume gap. Means they can actually pull all the information they need about you from your LinkedIn resume, put it into their system that allows them to organize you and set you up for interviews and do all the things that go through HR, through the Human Resources Department. It all gets pulled directly now. Same way as they used to do it with a written resume, they now have it out of LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn will allow you to fill in blanks that you won't necessarily be able to fit on a regular resume. And I expect that some of you have resumes that look like this. Maybe not with all the lines. But you're all sitting there going, well, I don't have anything to put in a resume. I'm in high school. I've had a couple of small jobs, But most of my time has been spent going to school. I have nothing to put into a resume. But when you put it into a resume, it doesn't look filled out, and it looks disorganized. And you're trying your best to go off what you're learning in school because it does work. The process of writing a resume taught in schools does work, as long as you have something to put into it. But the formatting of it, the organization of it, you want it to look like that. And it's not always going to look like that. You need to be able to fill it in and look professional, but it's not always going to be what you want it to look like. Unless, of course, you can use something to pull and create a print copy resume from your LinkedIn profile, which you can do now. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. Pick a template and print out the resume as you need it. Something changes on your resume, add it, reprint. You're not printing 15 resumes, getting all excited about going job hunting, hand out 14 resumes, and as you look at the 15th going, I spelled my name wrong. Oh, don't laugh, I've seen it. Okay? Now you print them out as you need them, and even better, you simply say to an opportunity knocked on your door, somebody came to you and said, hey, if you're looking for a job, we're hiring. Now you can simply say, my LinkedIn profile is online. Just grab it from there. Now you don't actually have to carry around the resume all the time. They can find it themselves. So you use a professional template, and if you need to print out that resume, if you need to email that resume, you can send it to them. And it looks professional. The system does it for you. Now you can focus on that thing that is important. The writing. Creating that story about yourself that makes you attractive to a potential employer. You don't have to worry about the formatting. You don't have to worry about the layout. You don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to fit on the page. Now you have the ability to focus on what is really important, and that's being able to sell yourself, to create a story that's engaging enough with proper grammar and spelling that is attractive to a potential employer looking for somebody like you. Now, how many people have put in a resume and then waited for that phone call? Yeah, right? Exactly. And you have no idea whether or not that person has actually seen your resume. Did it even make it to their desk? Well, the fact of the matter is that with the systems that they have nowadays, a person may not even see your resume because the gatekeeper electronically looked at your resume, said it doesn't have the key points that we're looking for, and never even makes it to HR. But now you can actually see the people that looked at your LinkedIn profile. So if the company that you applied to, and a person looks at your LinkedIn profile, you now get to see they saw it. Now you have an opportunity to engage that person directly. They've looked. Now you have an opportunity to say, hey, I see you we're taking a look at my profile. I applied there with your company a couple of days ago. Do you have any questions? Now you can start to build the relationship with the person that's doing the employing. The goal here is to create an online profile, a social footprint that makes people want to hire you. Your goal is to get here, where you're not even looking for work, and they're coming to you. I got this a week ago. Company based out of Boston, looking for somebody to do social media work for them. They came to me because the social footprint is there. It's relatively clean, not perfect. But I spend a lot of time in my LinkedIn space, creating that professional persona that I need in order to conduct my job in my business. Now, how many people here are applying for scholarships? If you get a LinkedIn account now, like today, and start working on it, so that when the application time and all the standing in front of the right people and sending information to the right people comes to pass, you have that LinkedIn resume that has all the information that they need. You will now be able to give that to them rather than spending time writing another resume and hoping that it's done right. Using the spell check that's built into LinkedIn to make sure that you spell your name right. You can start building up that profile that the university wants when they're looking for scholarship applicants. It can be done now, today. And even if you don't get that scholarship, you will now have the professional presence online to start building and working with. Is anybody lost? Does anybody see the value in this? This is where we nod and just make the guy up front feel better. I'm telling you now that this is the future. This is where employees and employers are going to interact. Future employees and future employers are going to interact. This is where it's going to be. It won't always look like this, but the future of being able to find a job, get a job, and maintain a job, and then look for the next job is going to be here in this space. This space is connected to all the other spaces. Your Facebook account, your Instagram account, your soon-to-have Twitter account, because let's face it, we want to keep the principal happy. Right? And all the other social accounts that you have, they're all connected, whether you believe it or not. Now is the time, and it's actually almost too late. Now is the time to make sure that your social footprint is clean, professional, and ready for today's workforce. So that when you get out there, you can, with confidence, send out your email with a LinkedIn profile and say, this is me. I'm happy to work for you. Questions? Anything? Yes?
So are you saying we should go back and clean things up, or just from here on out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Let me give you an example here. Okay? I got into Facebook around 2006. Okay? And 2006, 2007. I got into Facebook, and I used Facebook the same way as everybody uses Facebook, to share pretty much everything. And then I was at a social media conference in 2010, and at the time I was working as a social media consultant, and one of the most preeminent social media personalities out there, Mari Smith, who currently works with Facebook, came up to me after my talk and she said, "You are not a social media consultant. You're not a social media consultant. You're just not." It's kind of like being an actor and having Sir Laurence Olivier walk up to you and say, "You can't act." Right? It takes the wind right out of you. And Mari looked at me and she says, "You're a social media coach. That's what you are. You love to teach. You love to share and help other people gain experience by sharing your experience. You are a coach, and that's what you need to do." So I went through a whole rebranding process, which included going through 4 years of Facebook. At which point I realized that Facebook account has got to go bye-bye. Started an entirely new account. That's the one that became focused because that's part of my brand, it's part of who I am. And everything I did after that point, everything is thought of. I post some horribly controversial stuff that starts a lot of conversation. You're laughing. You know? But everything that I post is thought about. And everything that I post, I stand behind. Because it is thought about. So in going through your social profile, if you have that inappropriate picture of you doing that inappropriate thing at this place at that time, does it really need to be there? No. Will it be found someplace else? Probably. But if you take it out now, it makes it a little bit more difficult to find it in your profile. Okay? You cannot fix what has already been done, but you can at least lessen the impact of it. But the important thing moving forward from this day is that you think about everything that you do online now, knowing that it potentially has an effect on your future. Don't be the person whose future looks bright and has it kicked out because of something that you did in high school. Any other questions?
The Armed Forces LinkedIn account.
Yes. The Armed Forces doesn't really look at it that much because, I mean, right now they're still looking for a bunch of knuckle-dragging Neanderthals to go off and be infanteers. But if you're a professional looking to do engineering, medical, they're going to take a look at those aspects of what you're familiar with. What are your math scores like? You can post that stuff on your LinkedIn. You know, if I was to do a LinkedIn profile when I was 17, when I joined the Army, if I was to do a LinkedIn profile, I probably would have ended up doing the job that I ended up doing. Armored tank guy. Go in tank, go blow things up. That's what you're qualified to do. Right? But if you are a person who is into math and science and you have the opportunity to go to university and expand on that knowledge and look towards something that is in that industry, now's your opportunity to build that footprint that says to the potential employer and says to the university, I want to do this. My son is a math and science geek, pure and simple. His entire process of school right now is to become an engineer. Everything he's doing to that point is to that goal. When he started his LinkedIn account, it's geared towards that goal. He is part of groups that talk about engineering. He is part of organizations that develop engineering. He follows all the news that comes through the LinkedIn account about engineering. There are days where I want to hear something else other than engineering. But that's his goal, and that's what his account starts to look like. Anyone else? Oh, come on. Your students are supposed to have all kinds of questions. You have the opportunity now. I can't stress it enough. You have the opportunity right now to make the most of this tool, to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And by sharing that information out there, the same way that you have been sharing your lives online already for years, I'm sure. But now you can do it for an actual purpose. And that purpose is your future careers in whatever you want to do. So I encourage you to go home. I encourage you to start this account. And I encourage you to also do something that I'm probably sure most of you have never done before. Talk to your parents about what you're doing here. Your parents are going to understand this more than anything else. They're going to appreciate this more than anything else. But it's important that you start that conversation with them because they will offer advice and information that will probably help you. And you, in the process, are giving them an opportunity to see your online life in a way they've probably never seen it before. That's important unto itself. Find me online. If you can't find me online, it's because I'm dead. If you type in Sean Smith Campbell River, I think I'm the first 4 pages of Google. It's because I spend way too much time here. But find me, connect with me, see what I do, see how I've got my profile set up. And if you have questions, ask. I am not going to ignore you if you have a question because I'm a coach. It's what I do. I'm doing this in this school pretty much for free. And I charge $250 an hour for this stuff because this has value to the future. That's important. So I want you to go home and I want you to set up your first LinkedIn account. I want you to start developing that online presence that's going to get you that job and get you that future that you want. Or don't. And the rest of you will see you later. That's all I got.